If someone asked you who you believe to be the most influential artist living today, who would you think of? For many, it would be Yayoi Kusama and her self-proclaimed obsessive use of polka dots. Not only is she widely accepted as one of the most groundbreaking contemporary artists to date, but she is also currently 93 years old and still creating art on a daily basis. Named most popular artist in the world in 2014 by a museum attendance survey brought on by the art newspaper, Kusama seems to be nothing but humble when asked to comment on how widely adored her art is. It would not be surprising if this humbleness comes from her pure desire to create and not just for an audience. When people find out that for the past 45 years Kusama has been voluntarily living in a psychiatric hospital, there is a sense of shock and disbelief that tends to loom over them. As many people can relate, when she started making art, it was a way to process the feelings and the trauma that she was experiencing during her childhood. Distressing hallucinations and familial hardships undoubtedly and directly influenced her work. There were times in her early life when she was reported by a local newspaper to be creating upwards of 70 pieces each day. There are reasons why people, as well as Kusama herself, consider her art to be obsessive. This phrase actually ends up being a large part of the way she describes her own creative process, as well as her sheer drive to continue making art. Obsession. Most iconically known for her extensive use of polka dots, Kusama uses her art to mimic the hallucinations that she experienced growing up. Themes of polka dots, pumpkins, and flowers have always followed her work from the time she was very young, and these themes are still prevalent within her work today. Playing with the concepts of the infinite, her seemingly ever-expanding room installations are some of her most popular works, with people standing in line for hours to spend a mere 30 seconds in the space. You heard that correctly. A museum in Washington, D.C. has a 30-second time restriction to view one of her infinity mirror rooms. I personally remember seeing one of these rooms when I was a kid, particularly her Firefly room at the Phoenix Art Museum, and I also remember being absolutely blown away. It is extremely daunting and potentially impossible to list everything that Kusama has done, as her work expands throughout almost every medium that is imaginable. From large-scale sculpture to performance pieces to 33-foot-long paintings to installations to fashion design and one of her latest endeavors, technology design, it really seems that Kusama has done it all, and that feels as if I'm just scratching the surface of her lifetime-long body of work. Completely personally, I believe there is no reason to not know her story. The dedication and drive behind her work are admirable, obsessive or not. What she has gone through is a life of overcoming, whether it be overcoming her own debilitating fears or the lack of respect that she received from the art community as a woman in the 1950s. In the end, we can all strive to be as passionate as Yayoi Kusama, because I know that I do.